goodness. I had to bring this to y'all. Oh man. When you have a conversation that turns into a 5 minute conversation that turns into a full out discussion, I said, man, I got to bring this up to y'all. Because y'all don't believe what I actually go through in a day. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Shouts out to Weezy F, baby. Shouts out to the hip hop world. Shouts out to everybody who like their music, everybody who love hip hop. Let's get into this discussion that shouldn't be had. This would not be had in the 90s. This wouldn't be had in the 2000s. As far as the closest to Tupac, like I said, well, what's Tupac? Like I said, you know what? I'm gonna sit up now, cause y'all stay. You gotta look at the songs though. If you go song for song, can nobody match Lil Wayne now? Wayne got lyrics. Right, I'll tell you right now, Wayne. I said, oh my God, we are really doing this right now. Are we really doing this? You know, you thought you think you getting trolled and somebody just talking just to be talking. Then what really gets you aggravated is somebody who old enough to know better joins in and cosigns. I said, they got you too? Now we got to have a discussion. These fools almost said Lil Wayne was better than Tupac. They didn't say it. But they said enough to basically say Lil Wayne was better than Tupac. I'm like, well, you just to me is saying Lil Wayne is better than Tupac. We didn't say that. I'm like, okay. And don't put me on video. They ain't gonna put you on video if you don't want to be on video. But why wouldn't you want to be on video? If you gonna state all the things that you stated, you must know how ridiculous it sounded. For somebody to have that type of resounding reference, don't put my name in it. But Lil Wayne, he the truth. Now, the reason why they said Lil Wayne to them is the closest thing they have seen to Tupac. Get the reasoning. Because he performed with his shirt off and has the energy and don't get tired like Tupac. I said then, what about DMX? DMX had way more energy. DMX is on crack. So crack is responsible for all the energy that was displayed when you saw wow. You see, I told you, people tell you about themselves. Well, ask yourself the question: what is hip hop? What is the essence of it? Is this a real topic? Exactly. That's what I was saying. Is this a real topic? So when they brought it up today, I couldn't believe it. First off, like I asked them, I said, okay, let me sit up. What is Tupac? What is Tupac? Since everyone seems to say, man, this is what Tupac is. What is Tupac? And I wasn't saying that to make them look small. I wanted to know, what did they mean by that? I want to know, what is Tupac then? Since y'all want to say Tupac is this, what did you define him as to say Lil Wayne is close to him? And they said, oh, well, Tupac, he everything, man. He real. He ain't no punk, and he don't back down from nobody. He'll stand on his own if he had to. That's Lil Wayne. I said, well, first of all, Pac was a one of one. Ja Rule wasn't the closest thing to him. Uh, DMX was DMX. He wasn't trying to be Pac at all. They're two entirely different artists. I don't think either one is the closest to each other. The only way they are close is work ethic. They both put the work in. Other than that, that's where the comparisons stop. They are not the same. Tupac was a revolutionary trapped in an urban environment that he totally hated and seen a lot. And because he's seen a lot, he was the only rapper I know that felt more comfortable hanging out with. This is the dude who dated Madonna, would go date Madonna, come back from dating a A-list celebrity like Madonna, and go back to the hood to go hang out with the outlaws. Lil Wayne lyrically is not better than Tupac. And I had to explain it to them. And what hurts me is one of them is old enough to know better. The other one is still old enough, but I still think he should know better. It's just, it's sad to me because none of these guys seem to get it. They don't. Y'all don't understand lyrics from catchy phrases, which y'all guys would call bars. Or where in different eras it was called as different things. Back in our days, it was called metaphors. And you were a metaphorical rapper. So in Tupac Day, that's what it was called. And then it became the era of the metaphorical freaks. Redman and Method Man made it very popular. As Method Man dropped a slew of metaphorical rhymes. Exactly. A punchline rapper. That became, like I said, it's the same thing. Bars, punchlines, same thing. Metaphorical rappers. Lloyd Banks turned that into the word punchlines didn't come until later because punchlines were for comedians. And they'd be like, when they set up the joke, and then they'd be like, okay, what's the punchline? Big was like that. That was the difference between Biggie and Tupac. Big was more of a punchline rapper. He was more of the witty one, sharp lyrical content, more aggressive. Tupac was more of a storyteller, poetic, inspirational. Not one rapper has made a Dear Mama. They've tried. Kanye West is the only one who made a song that was close enough to be compared. But when Tupac sit down and focus on a rhyme that he really wants to work, that it means something to him, he could do it. Now that's different. What you're saying is entirely different. Well, they're products of their environment. We don't hear too much about Lil Wayne's mother. Uh, we hear mostly about his father, right? And how close he was to his dad. But not having parental figures in his life for a large part of his life, Birdman being your father, imagine how you gonna turn out. But this dude's 14, 15 years old writing rhymes in a studio of a record company, just writing just the most just unbelievable, incredible rhymes. But then his rhymes are all over the place. So some of that stuff they couldn't use, but they want to use his style. Like he can rap. So BG and Turk, and everybody used to basically write for him. BG was his ghostwriter for years. Turk career suffered because of that. When the Bling Bling video came out and they didn't have Turk in it, Turk verse, I sensed the problems then. That's what I brought up too. You can't be the GOAT or the best MC in the world. And the majority of your songs, you were wobbity, 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 driving like it's hot. After you back it up and stop, say what, drop it like it's hot as it, drop it like it's hot as it, drop it like it's hot. Bobbity, 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 drop it like it's hot. I'm a rider boy, touch me, I'm on fire boy, got them trees, holler boy, about that cheese, the dollar boy, I'm a 17 survivor boy, a chopper boy, I got things that go block it boy, Little Wayne, I'm a basketball, I told you I kick it like soccer ball, got a wife, hey, you better hide a ball, before you catch it at my house stepping out my shower ball. That's BG. I know all of it while hating because I've listened to hip hop. I'm describing you. See, that's y'all problem. You can't, some of you can't process information. When does it say I gotta hate on Lil Wayne to say Tupac is great? I told you the difference between the two. Who you could say Tupac is like? Tupac was like Tupac. If you go listen to the same song, because that's when a lot of people remember Tupac was same song. All around the world, same song. So everybody remember same song, right? That's what most people were introduced to Tupac. He been that same guy. The thing about Tupac is life changed around him. But the digital underground, are you kidding me? Most of y'all remember Tupac from Death Row. He was with Death Row for 9 months. And look how much work he put out when he was there. It's not a diss to Lil Wayne. Trust me. Lil Wayne is the MVP of rap. If you're young and wasn't alive when Tupac was alive, and you think that, then by all means, congratulations. That's your era. That's like people saying, well, I think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan. We just met a kid named Michael, 12 years old. He's already about 5'10" at 12. playing basketball today, talking about his favorite player is Steph Curry. It used to be LeBron. He's 12. I said, at least you made the switch now. You were smart enough to get out now. Cash those chips in. Do I remember same song? Yeah, well, did you hit the Cash App up or the Super Chat? What is it? Hit the cadence. Now I clown around when I hang around with the underground. Girls who used to frown say that I'm down when I come around. Gas me, and when they pass me, they used to diss me, harass me, but now they ask me if they can kiss me. Some fame, people change, wanna live, life high. Same song, can't go wrong or something if I played the nice guy. Claim the fame must have changed now when we became strong. I remain the same. Why too? It's just the same song. It's been a while since I heard the same song. Now, if you go to that and you go to who do you believe in? I put my faith in God, blessed, I'm still breathing. I don't even know it's hard. That's who I believe in. You go listen to that and you start listening to all these songs he put in, and you go, man, this dude is something. Like his thing is passion. He's a passionate human being. He sings and he talks from his heart. Now, Tupac vices and problems was that he was in both worlds. He was angry about a lot of stuff, bitter over a lot of things. But he always was fighting for the cause, for a right, or to do something, or to be something. Lil Wayne, he just, they different. You know? Wayne's an addict. You know, he was a hell of a bowler. We bowled with Lil Wayne. He's a 280 bowler for real. That was way back when Mickey used to bring him up here. He came to Chicago back when they was cash money. And believe me, they had really no cash money at that time. But hey, you say it and it comes into reality. But Lil Wayne used to take his bus. He used to have a bus that was basically hitted up like a studio. They would go in there, record mixtapes, do whatever. And they was in High Park. They used to kick it at, I can't say the dude's name. Dude had a condo. They used to shoot dice, play cards, everything there. It was cool. And that's when everything got negotiated so they could do Ain't I the coolest cat that you've ever seen? And I'm fresh and I ain't no wankster in me. Ain't I, don't I ride when it's time to ride? It's just the gangster in me. Ain't it, man? But no, to me, I don't mind discussing it with y'all because it might be some young folks out there that just don't understand the difference. To say Lil Wayne is the closest to Pac is almost an insult to Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is the first him. All of these rappers are the children of Wayne. When Wayne came out, everybody had these mob head dreads. They was punk rock, syruped out their mind, tats everywhere, white tank tops, tees. And it's been that way since. These are the children of Wayne. People have been doing syrup in Houston, and that was their thing. They was chopping screwed because that's how they used to hear things. So I knew a dude from Houston. He wouldn't listen to nothing hip hop unless it was chopped and screwed. If DJ Screw didn't do it, he won't listen. He listened to Glaciers of Ice, one of Raekwon the Chef album. I'm like, man, you ain't heard this Raekwon? Man, Ray who? Oh, hell no. Then he hit me up one day. Hey, I finally heard it. It's something. What the hell is this? Oh, they chopped and screwed that. Oh, hey, that sound way better. I'm like, yep. You on drugs. Because if anybody think you need to chop and screw up a Wu-Tang album, I said, oh, hell no. Wayne got more of an East Coast flow. Wayne's style switched once he started hanging around Gilly. Whether Gilly wrote for him or not, his slang changed, his vocabulary changed. It went from Wody to your boy. Holla at your boy. And they didn't use boy down there. Yeah, he was bitter. Imagine if you are going to jail for something you didn't do. Right? You're going to jail for something you did not do at all. And then they transferring you to a maximum facility, Clinton Correctional Facility, where they have lifers. And he's going in there for forcibly touching buttocks. That's the charge. He forcibly touched buttocks. Everything else was kicked out of court. All of it, the sodomized, all that stuff was gone. They came up with some garbage like he forcibly touched the buttocks. And then Mayor Giuliani and his police force and the judge and everybody else who were corrupt, the whole trial was set up to make sure he go to jail. And they transferred him to a maximum facility where he shouldn't even had never been. Should have never been. So while he's gone, the people who was there the night, he got hit. All of them were there. And now Biggie blows up and is the biggest star in the world. And it's like Tupac got taken out so they could put Biggie in his place. And he knows that that's Biggie's homeboy. And he's going to be like, well, that's one of Biggie's homeboys. And Biggie homeboys is paying him. And they putting the money up to try to erase me out the game. That's how Pac's mind is thinking. That this is what's going on. This is the plan. To remove me. Well, I'm going to get out. I'm destroying all of them. I'm destroying it. So that's how he was moving. Yeah. And all of it has been confirmed by the people who actually went and saw him in jail and spoke to him. His own former manager confirmed that this man was literally bitter at Biggie's success. And when he's like, man, that really don't have nothing to do with us. He knew Big had nothing to do with what happened at the Quad Studios. Pac knew from the moment he was hit. Pac knew what happened, why. He found everything out in detail while he was in the hospital. His own buddy who was there that night, the reason that he fell out with Stretch, gave him all the details. Because your buddy Stretch, who's cool with Big, who cool with all of them, told you. He went and found out immediately what went down. So they already knew it had nothing to do with Big. That had nothing to do with any of them. Like, Who Shot You was recorded when, and it was an old song. Pac found all that out later, but when you hear the Who Shot You song come out, and you the one that got hit, you kind of think like he's rubbing it in. So if you Tupac, once again, you're paranoid. You don't know who to trust. You don't know who's lying. You don't know who's in cahoots and who ain't. Hell, he was blaming Andre Harrell and Puff. And they were the one who called 911 for him. They the one, he's like, they looked at me like they were shocked I was alive. They were like, we was shocked. Dude, you been shot. And you walking around like you ain't. So, like, yeah, Andre Harrell is like scared, looked like he saw a ghost. To Pac, he think this is normal behavior for everybody. Puff out there getting them towels and everything, like, get a towel for him. Now, anyway, getting back to this so-called comparison. Tupac rhymes vivid. When I mean vivid, Tupac can have a conversation with you, and it's captivating. You're interested. You can look in his eyes when he speak. That's a voice. That is a powerful voice. So for everybody saying, oh, Pac had to double his lyrics, Pac ain't have to do a damn thing. He just likes the way it sounded. But if you seen Pac perform live where there's no doubling and just listen to him, go listen to a studio session with Pac in there rapping live. Ain't no doubling on the voice or nothing. His voice was just powerful. That's just how it was. He was blessed with that. Very introspective. But he was conflicted. Because he was all these things in one. Because the way he grew up, books, Panther, bread, then he's growing up in society, in the circles and the people he hanging with, running the streets, mama dope fiend, you know, so he got to provide for himself. So he in the streets grinding early. So he grew up a long time ago. Pac died at 25. 25 years of age. He always predicted he would go out because he never dreamed he was gonna be anything. Like, to him, he'd be like, this is as far as I'm thinking I'm gonna make it. And he used to always prepare for if he left. While he was here, he's always preparing for not being here, recording extra songs. He wanted to say, hey, if they get me, or if I'm gone, or I'm hit, or whatever, I'm good. I got like 3-4 albums ready to go, so I know I'm going to be here forever. That was his thing. That was his plan. So he did not fear death. Lil Wayne is lyrical. Like, a bunch of his lines in his songs, they don't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? If you understand that, then you understand it. But what I mean by that is, it's just a bunch of lines, catchy bars, but the song concept and everything in it is really just, it's empty. You don't really go back and listen to the songs no more. Mostly, Lil Wayne bars is about sleeping with a woman. And if you want to call that, he eating them out, he doing the whole nine. That's all Lil Wayne's fame. Now, he the Ussy monster. That's it. So that becomes like the majority of his rhymes. They're just so all over the place. But lyrically, like he can hold his own. But look how many songs other people had to write for him. Like Drake wrote She Will, yeah. Do it for the rhythm in the game right now. She will. That's Drake's song. Drake pen kept Lil Wayne relevant. What is Lil Wayne's best album to date? The Carter 3, right? How many people wrote on that album? I know. That's why Pac and Face got along. Now, if you wanted to say somebody who was similar when it came to the energy and the songs and everything, Scarface to me was closer to Pac than most of these guys. And he from Houston, Texas. And when them two jailed, I knew it. Because they are alike in a lot of ways. Well, yeah, the Carter 1, in which Lil Wayne shocked everybody and flipped his whole style and sounded like an East Coast album. They was, man, what happened here? But I'm talking about his most commercially successful album, not his best album. That was the Carter 3. That was the Go Get the Money album. That was a milli. You dig? A milli don't have a beat. You realize this, right? There's no beat for a milli. That's just a bass line. There's no beat. Lil Wayne wouldn't engage 50 Cent. He did that little thing on the mixtape, Louisianimal, when he came after 50, but he didn't want to go down that road. Because Fifth, I mean, that was the only guy Fifth couldn't really get to, was Wayne. That impact is what put G Unit out of, they if they went into this new drug addict lane, that's what did it. Everybody turned Fifth and them off and was like, all right, we through with G Unit and all that. But it's time to move on to this new drug addict rap. Now we need syrup and lean and all that craziness. This ain't the Carter. Nigga, this is Sparta. We harder. Better respect me like your father. Had your punk ass running like a racehorse. Fifth, I'm telling you, a lot of people just didn't listen to Fifth at that time. They was tuned out. And the reason that happened was a lot of mistakes made. But we're going to get to that. When Lil Wayne, yeah, I remember that everybody was going crazy for that one little line. Anything Lil Wayne said at that time was considered golden. It's I put up in your vitamin water. He was on all that drug addict rap. I eat your organs. We're not the same. You human. I'm a Martian. It's like, dude, this dude is gone right now. He really think he's probably on Mars and just came back from that. And 50 Cent was finna do a whole campaign to crush Lil Wayne. He was finna go right into it with him. And Rick Ross got in the middle of it and put himself there, and that's where it went from there. It got crazy. So the whole thing shifted to Rick Ross, and then that just went left completely. But 50 campaign for Lil Wayne was different. Like, he was going to try to end that right away. He was going to say no to drugs. It was y'all got food. Y'all got a drug outlet. Y'all bobbing y'all head to a hype. He had it all laid out. And he was going to have the whole G Unit come right behind him. I might have to do that on the Patreon so y'all can know that whole story, because a lot of stuff got screwed up that was supposed to happen that caused the whole shady aftermath to fall down. Oh, we need to do that video. I'm gonna tell you, all of the campaign was already set up. 50 Cent versus Lil Wayne. It was ready. They was ready to go. Wayne had just got Young Money up and running. Nicki was on board. He just got Young Money. All this stuff was Wayne's time, and nobody was really kind of vibing with the unit no more. And they were getting ready to come out, because I think G Unit had just dropped that TOS, Terminate on Sight, was getting ready to come out. So T.I. was the target. Lil Wayne was the target for the promotional run. Lil Wayne T.I. just got that charge. So that was going, but the Lil Wayne thing was all set up to go. But it's a lot y'all didn't know. Well, because that's 50's MO. He's got to have some type of beef going on to sell the album. That's how he used to sell his music, to get everybody interested. But the songs that sold the album, that was the difference. 50 Cent is not just a diss rapper. And everybody like, man, he just dissed to sell records. That's all he did was diss everybody. No, that's what Game has to do. The Game got to name drop everybody. 50 can actually make songs. All his successful records are not diss records, but people are so blind they can't even see it. In the Club, not a diss record. Candy Shop. Come on. All his hit records, all of them, are not Pimp Like Me and all that. I'm a PIMP. All of these songs that were charting, So Seductive, Out of Control, Disco Inferno, all of these songs that are charting and selling the records are not diss records. AO Technology. AO! Fully Loaded Clip is a B-side record. That's not a single. That's not. What are you talking about? Now, I want to be clear on a few things because I feel it needs to be said. We're not saying, and this is not a diss on Lil Wayne, because he's not like Tupac. They are originally like each other. There's no other rapper before that was like Lil Wayne. There was no rapper before that was like Tupac. They are both individuals that everybody else tried to be like. Once Pac was gone, everybody started rocking bandanas. The rappers and the people that couldn't stand him the most were now working out, taking off their shirt, rocking bandanas. Ja Rule got so tired of being compared to Tupac, he grew his hair out for his second album. He's like, I'm growing my hair out because everybody think I'm trying to be like Pac. Which he wasn't. But he was rocking bandanas like Pac. But his songs are not like Tupac. His problem is he didn't stay in his lane. He thought because he hung around with these gangster, hardcore prison, homicidal dudes that he was one of them. And he started to make his music way more aggressive than it should have been. When he should have just kept on the pace he was on, doing his alternative music, and then Irv remixing all the old remixed songs that Puffy used to use. He just gonna redo them and put Ashanti on them, and they can just go on ahead and milk this and get their money. All he had to do was ignore 50 Cent. But he couldn't. He was doing good before that. With all that, it's drive me crazy, and then it bother me, it don't me, and then we go high. How many wanna ride with me? How many wanna die with me? That was the white boy anthem. I swear, that movie was retarded with Usher. I remember taking this chick to see this movie. I said, what movie is this? Well, these people don't want to leave the school. Light it up. Light it up. I'm like, Usher's in this? I'm like, they got Usher Raymond to get in this movie. I was sitting in there with her and she was like, this is a good movie. I'm like, I've never seen a movie where they fighting to be in school. You gonna have to drag us out of this school. I'm like, you wanna stay there? Go home. You ain't gotta tell me twice. You going home? I'll be, hell yeah. It's past 3. I'm waiting at the door when the buzzer rings. Light it up. And they played that song, boy. I swear that was the white boy. And they would ride around, white boys on 20s and Mustangs, 5.0s. You couldn't tell them Ja Rule was gangster. That was it. Yo, I got that Ja Rule. I was like, all right. Murder Inc., dude. And I'm like, all right, knock yourself out. My man. They love them some Ja. So he didn't have to do any of the stuff he did. Oh, Jay-Z thought he rode the DMX wave. That's all he did. He grabbed Swiss Beats and said, I'm rocking with this dude. He grabbed Swiss Beats and said, I'm rocking with this guy and this guy only. Oh, you had to stop in and hit the like button. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's crazy out here. What's up, Bear? No, so this has turned into another conversation I had. I thought that one was long. We just spent about an hour talking about this. I think it's all good for the cause that people will actually know. Well, yeah, on the Patreon, we finna definitely hit y'all in the head. Because I forgot. Like, most of y'all just don't know. So it's time to rewind them and remind them. I'm gonna tell you why the Lil Wayne and 50 Cent thing went left, led to a whole big demise. I might do that tonight. Why? It's on my mind, so I don't forget about it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to put up the thing. I'm gonna do that first. Show y'all why they tried to jack me at the casino. I'm gonna show y'all why they did that in Tampa when it was amateur hour. I'm gonna show you why. So thank you guys who all came and hit the like button. We chatted up for a minute. Now it's time to get to work. Jose, Johnny J, rest in peace. Pac, rest in peace. X, rest in peace. Tony Saragusa, the goose, rest in peace. And the man also from the Ravens. They lost that 26-year-old kid, man. I still don't know what happened to him. They still ain't said nothing. But they said it's no foul play. So it's either COVID or he had some type of attack. Hopefully it ain't drugs. But yeah, that's messed up. So anyway, go on the Carcino for Life Patreon. And definitely part 6 is already out for the Chicago Bulls. I don't know. Patreon did an upgrade today. So it's a whole new layout. They changed the way it looked. So don't think you're on the wrong page. They just changed it. So make sure you get the app though, so you can understand, like get your notifications and all that stuff quicker. But anyway,